right. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the Blue Book Clarinet class on YouTube. So today we're going to do a little bit of review, and if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat on the side. All right. You can ask me at any time, and it could be any question about clarinet, and I will happily answer them for you live on the video today. Now you can get the pages for today down below, or I'll also have them on the screen. But you can click the link down below and pull it up alongside the video, or just tune in on your own books on the side. So why don't we go ahead and get our clarinets ready. We're going to try a long note, because last week we did the long note contest. And I didn't hear from very many of you guys. I heard a couple of you submitted long notes and it sounded really good, but I'd like to hear some more. So why don't you go ahead and record some videos of you holding a note as long as you possibly can and submit it for the contest, for the long note contest. The winner will post their longest note on the video next time and give you guys a shout out if you win the long note contest. So let's go ahead and hold the note G, our open G on clarinet. We're going to go ahead and hold that note for at least 15 beats. So get prepared with a big deep breath, sit up nice and tall in your chair. I'm sitting up nice and tall and on the edge of my chair. Okay, get my clarinet ready. Blow a couple notes just to make sure everything works. And then we'll get started with a long note. Here we go. Make sure it's soft, playing nice and softly. You want to take a nice deep breath by saying ha backwards. Okay, just before you're ready to play, and then breathe out immediately when we're ready to play. Here we go. A long note. 1, 2, ready. There's 15 beats. Okay, 15 is a good number. It's just about 4 full measures of music. Okay, so if you have a clock and a second hand on the clock, you can count 15 seconds pretty easily. You start on the 12 and you go all the way to the 3, or you start on any of the cardinal directions. So 3 and go to 6, or 6 and go to 9, and 9 and go to 12, whichever you prefer. That's the easiest way to time yourself for 15 beats, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and play something that's pretty familiar, I hope, to everybody. I'm pulling it up here on the screen for you. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. This one, it's also the same song as the alphabet song and Baba Black Sheep, if you know those two songs. Use your ear for this one. We don't really need to go over the notes. I think you all know how to play C, D, E, F, G, and A, and they're also written there, so you can follow along. But the structure, the way we play this song is a little bit different. So let's play what's written and see if we can figure out from there what to do. Okay, here's Twinkle, Twinkle from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's the end of line 2, but maybe some of you are watching and you're scratching your head thinking, wait a minute, we're not done. That's not the end of Twinkle Twinkle. But we finished all of the written music, so where are we supposed to go now? And the top of the page says D, C, Al fine, and you see that written in our music right where we ended at the end of line 2, D, C, Al fine. If we have any Italian speakers, you can translate da capo al fine, or just read at the top what it says. It says, go back to the beginning and play until fine. So basically, this is a shorthand way of rewriting the top line. Rather than writing the whole thing again, all the music is telling us to do is go back to the beginning, play that line until you get to the fine, and then end. The fine in Italian means the end, right? The finish. So that's the true ending right there. All right, so let's go back, DC al fine, back to the beginning and play until fine. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and go. And then that's the true ending there too. All right, if you're paying attention and you notice my reed squeaked, that's a common clarinet problem. So it even happens to the best of us here. The way you fix that is just by loosening your clarinet ligature a little bit and pushing the reed a little bit higher. If it's squeaking, it's probably set too low on your mouthpiece. So just raise it a tiny bit if it's squeaking. And now mine's not squeaking anymore. Okay, great. Ode to Joy. If you know this song by name, maybe you know the composer who wrote it. That's the guy over here with the crazy hair, the picture. His name is Ludwig van Beethoven. He wrote the Ode to Joy. He also wrote another symphony that you're probably familiar with, Symphony Number 5, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, famously used in Fantasia, and a plethora of other movies as well. This one is another one that we need to use our ear because we know the way it's supposed to sound, but it's written a little bit differently, kind of like Twinkle Twinkle was above. Do you see the same words as Twinkle Twinkle? DC al fine. Not quite. At the very end of the music, line 3, all the way at the end, it says DS al fine. So the S, instead of da capo al fine, which is DC al fine, it means dal segno al fine, which is Italian for the sign. Okay, do you guys see the sign at the top of the page? There's the S with a slash and 2 dots. Okay, let me highlight it for you. Can I just highlight the sign? Probably not. Anyway, I highlighted the sign and a couple other notes as well, but there it is. It's in line 2. So instead of going back to the beginning and playing the whole first line again and playing until the fine, this is telling us to go back to the sign, or the beginning of line 2, not line 1, back to line 2, and then play the whole second line until the fine at the end of that line. So the way this one works, we play line 1, 2, 3, DS, back to the second line, and play until the fine. All right, so if we know how to play Ode to Joy, if you've heard this one before, it should be a breeze. Otherwise, we're not playing the high A that we saw in Twinkle Twinkle. We're just playing C, D, E, F, G, those 5 notes. Okay. Pay attention to the 8th notes in particular in line 3. And let's give this one a try. Let me know in the comments if you guys have questions or need me to do it slower or faster or whatever. Okay, here we go. Ode to Joy. 1, 2, ready, go. Line 2. that's the end of that one. Cool. So if you have any questions about DC Alfine, DS Alfine, let me know in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this video after it's been live streamed. Cool. Now I just wanted to go over the note that we did last week, the new note B flat on page 21, the one we needed to play Yankee Doodle with. Okay, so that one, remember, it's pretty much the last note accessible on the instrument before we need to cross over the break into our higher register on the clarinet. So we're playing the note A with our first finger in the front, and then we're going to press this key. It kind of looks like an arrow pointing up. Okay, that's the register key on the back. Okay, we play those two, we pinch those two together, and we get B flat. So check that note with me right now. Ready, set, go. Okay, yours will probably have the same tone. It kind of sounds a little airy. That's the way it's supposed to sound. Okay, so if you're playing that and you think something's wrong, it's actually the way it's supposed to sound. We don't really have that many holes left on the clarinet before we need to transition to a different note. So it's going to be a little bit airy sounding. Other than that, let's go ahead and play Yankee Doodle. Same 5, 6 notes from Twinkle Twinkle, C, D, E, F, G, A, and then the additional B flat in this one. Okay, let's try Yankee Doodle. 1, 2, ready, set, go. Good. So I didn't, is it too loud coming through? Somebody said it's, play a little further from the microphone. If it's too loud, I can adjust that. So give me a second here. That might be a little bit better. Okay, that might be a little bit better. You can let me know in the comments. Thanks for letting me know. But let's go ahead and play Yankee Doodle maybe a little bit faster. So I think last week for sure, I issued you guys a challenge to please submit some videos of you playing this one, Yankee Doodle, the same way that you would sing it, which is quite a bit faster than the way we normally play it. Yankee Doodle went to town. It's supposed to be quite a bit faster. So let's try playing it together a little bit quicker, more closely to the way that we would potentially sing this one. Okay? Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Nice. The tricky part with playing it fast is making sure when we're covering like E, which is only a couple holes, going down to C, making sure our fingers stay flat, okay, to cover those holes completely. Otherwise, if they're not totally covered, when you reach from E to C, it's going to squeak a little bit, and we want to avoid that. We want to make sure our fingers are covering the holes nice and perfectly. All right. Hopefully that fixed the speaker problem. So let me know if it's still sounding a little strange on your end, and I'll make an adjustment. Okay. Here's something new. Page 22 in the blue books, we have at the very top of the page a key signature. The key signature, you guys, is right after the treble clef. You see a 1 flat sign. That's right here on our music. Okay, and that's just a little shortcut that composers put in there to tell you what key the music is going to be in. Basically, it's telling you, okay, we're in the key of F, so you should know that every time you see a B, it's going to be B flat. All right. So this is a good way to avoid writing flat signs a bunch of times throughout the music. That just write it one time and then make you remember it throughout the entire piece of music. Okay. So for the two songs on this page, It's a Ringer and Polly Wolly Doodle, you're not going to see the note B flat written in the music. Just like we did in Yankee Doodle on the previous page, Yankee Doodle and Little Cabin, they wrote the B flat in the music, okay? It wasn't in the key signature. I just highlighted that for you. So you can see that there's a B flat in Yankee Doodle. The true way that music is written is with the key signatures. So you're going to see pretty much from now on the flat signs or sharp signs, depending on the key. They're going to be written in the key signature, and you're supposed to remember that for the entire song. So It's a Ringer, we have F, G, A, B flat. That's not a new B, that's just B flat. You have to look back at the key signature and remember that it's B flat. Okay, let's try It's a Ringer together, half notes. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. How did you do? Let me know in the comments if that one was tricky. Line 2 also, they took out the letters completely, so they're relying on your ability to read music. The F space, the very first space on our treble clef staff is F, then the next line above that would be G. So this whole second line, we have F, G, A, B flat, A, G, and F. Okay? Keep working on trying to read music without letters. You can reference the line above and double check and see if you got it right. All right, so if there's no further questions, let's go ahead with Polly Wolly Doodle, the last song. This one's quite a bit more complicated than It's a Ringer. Okay? It's not that hard, says Claudia. Which one, reading music or Polly Wolly Doodle? Polly Wolly Doodle, we have quite a bit of eighth notes, quarter notes. We're doing a bunch of things at once here. We're doing quarter notes, eighth notes, half notes, dotted half notes, first and second endings, and reading notes without letters. So we got quite a bit of things going on in this one, and remembering our key signature, which is B flat. Every time you see a B in this song, it's B flat. All right? Let's try Polly Wolly just a little bit at a time. Remember, when you get to the first ending, we repeat back to the beginning. And this is the second time we're playing, so when we get to the first ending the second time, we skip it and go to the second ending, and that's the entire, that's the finish of the song. Okay? Let's try Polly Wolly Doodle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Beginning. Second ending. All right, so this one is a bit longer than songs that we're used to playing. That's because of the first and second endings, the repeat sign there. We also have the eighth notes in measure 3 and in the first and second endings. We have 8 eighth notes in a measure. That's quite a bit of of articulation there. Everybody understand what the word articulation means? It's one of those words that kind of tells you what it is, the way it sounds. Articulation, right? There's quite a bit of different sounds in that word. R is kind of like a slur. Tick is kind of like staccato. Ulation is a bigger tie, right? Articulation. So that word literally means the slurs, the ties, the staccatos, the way we play the notes. Okay, and for our third measure, the first ending and second ending, we have articulated eighth notes. We have to be able to tongue those notes, each one separately, like this. Ta 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 ta. I'm literally saying ta as I'm playing, right? So my tongue is hitting the reed and making a tut 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 sound. Okay, so some of you might be experiencing that as kind of difficult. We want to slow it way down and do those notes tut 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 ta a bit slower and work on tonguing those notes. There's also a song in this book. Earlier in the book, you could find it. It's called Crazy Tonguing, and that's a good one to practice tonguing with if this is a little difficult. Otherwise, keep working on Polly Wolly Doodle. Send us your videos playing the music. We want to hear and provide feedback. If you have specific questions about how to do something, or you just want to show off and show us how fast you can play Polly Wolly Doodle, or if you can play the whole song in one breath, that would be really cool. I want to hear it. So the email address is homework@theorchestraplays.com. And if nobody has any questions, then that's all for today, and we'll see you guys next week. Happy practicing!